And good afternoon, and we want to welcome you here today. We have a few very wonderful guests this afternoon with us, but one of the biggest questions we have on the island comes from obviously the lack of entertainment and cultural events that we presently are not having with what's going on the island. But we're very excited. I wanted Cindy Sackrin, who is the chair of the Cultural and Entertainment Committee, come on with us because she has put together some great ideas and thoughts for what's coming up. In spite of COVID, we've come up with some ideas that she feels she can do. We can handle it properly within the protocols of the COVID requirements. So rather than go into too much that I'm going to say, I'd rather hear from Cindy. However, as we do for everyone that always comes on, we want to hear a little about Cindy first and how you, I know what you do in your real world, what your real job is,
world.
and how you wound up doing this.
Okay, so hi everybody. My real job, I'm a lawyer, a divorce lawyer, so nobody wants to see me in that capacity here on this island, hopefully. And that's why I like the entertainment field and Cultural and Entertainments Committee, because it's fun. It's completely different from what I do every day, although there's drama in everything, and certainly in that as well, but it's fun drama. I enjoy dealing with the artists, and actually I do get to use some of my lawyer skills in looking at the contracts with the artists. So I do, I'm able to revise some of the contracts a little bit with the help of management, of course, and the board. And so I do get to use my lawyer hat sometimes, but it just brings a fun dimension to my everyday world of family law and drama. And today's virtual reality is using Zoom, and we're using that now in the entertainment field as well, so I get to interplay a lot with Zoom and technical issues as well, but it's fun. So I just got into it coming into the island when we moved here about 8 years ago, I want to say, and just wanted to join the fun of Williams Island. We live in paradise here, we really do, and we have the opportunity to have such fun entertainment brought onto the island and cultural events, and I wanted to be a part of it. And we have a fantastic committee. I just want to shout out to our committee members, if I may, for a minute. We've got Harriet Becker, Judy Scott Lotwin, who is a talent in and of herself.
Yes.
Marcel May, Lorraine Novak, Susan Arani, Lucien Laluz, Anna Vera is a new addition last year, and Oscar Lasada, who's our liaison. We've got a great committee, and I want everyone to know, because we don't really get a chance to talk much about our committee and what we do and all of the time that we spend, but we really work very hard on this island. The committee members are always available for meetings. I don't think anyone has missed a meeting in the last 2 years at all. And our meetings are usually every 2 to 3 weeks. So normally, I know the rules provide for meeting once a month on the committees. We do double that. So we do it because we want to. We're into it. It's fun, it's challenging, and we enjoy the creativity of it. And I'm going to talk in a minute about our events that we have planned and things we'd like to see on the island and how we use that creativity. Well, I think you know, if I go into some of the past events we've had over the last 2 years.
I think it's important to let the people know what you have accomplished before we go forward.
We've had some incredibly different types of creative events on the island. We are trying to reach all the demographics on the island. So we have done Chinese New Year celebration a couple of years ago that was never done before, and I think if we all think about that and remember what that was like, we had Chinese and Japanese and Korean entertainers, performers coming on the island, and they performed, and we had the food from Food and Beverage, who's done an amazing job matching the food with our entertainment, our talent, and they had Japanese food, we had sushi, we had Chinese, Korean, and we had a lot of fun with that because we also had some sessions in preparation of teaching the chefs here on Williams Island how to make certain Korean dishes, and it was a lot of fun. So there was a lot of preparation behind the scenes work that C&E does that people don't really know about for these events, and that's why we're excited. They're creative and they're fun. So that was a lot of fun. We also did Jazz at the Pool. We started that series a couple of years ago. That's been really successful too. Just a fun, casual evening at the pool, and drinks and food. We've had different buffets depending on what the talent and entertainment was of the evening to match. So we've done that. We brought that back several times, and we're going to continue to do that. Last year, we had an incredible breakout year trying to branch out into upper level talent, real names, real name people. We had Rita Rudner, comedian, come out, and she was outstanding. That was a huge sellout. We had John Cicada and Tito Puente, Latin night, so we're trying to reach into the Latin community as well and diversify everyone on the island, provide talent for everyone. That was an incredible evening under the stars. All this was out on the tennis court, which is a tremendous venue that we have
And I
there.
might interrupt that
Sure.
when Cindy says it's a sellout, we're talking 600-700 people
Right.
with food, with drinks, with
Right.
coordination, with screens, with lighting, with stages,
Right.
with tents. So it's not just a person getting up on a stage and performing.
Correct.
This is a 3 to 4 day preparation to get the island ready. So what
Right.
Cindy and her committee does is a lot more than just booking some talent and watching them perform. She has to set up the entire island, work with the menus, work with the coordination of the food, the events people. So
And there's rehearsals behind
Yeah.
the scenes, there's all of that to put it all together. It's a big deal, and it's very exciting. It gets to be really interesting and fun to work with these artists, to talk to them, to look at the contracts. The demands of the contracts are incredible.
Usually
I had
more than the
no
show
idea.
itself, yeah.
Oh my goodness, talk about divas. Some of them are like unbelievable what they require in their dressing rooms. We've had to create dressing rooms for them also, which is difficult in and of itself. But it's been a lot of fun. We had disco night on the island last year. That was incredible. We had Evelyn Champagne King, the Tramps, and Musique. And we put that together with rehearsals with them and getting each of them, talk about divas, getting them to have their own separate space, wine in their dressing room, drinks, food, whatever it is. You have to take care of all of those issues with the agents behind the scenes. And that was a really fun night. We did Israeli night, and that was incredible too. We had Kol Nidre, which was a fantastic group from Israel, and that was out on the tennis court with a buffet of Israeli food. And we did New World Symphony also. We had an off-island excursion, and that was really successful, and we had great demand for that and want to do that one again as well. In addition to that, we did historical lecture series with Robert Watson. We brought him, he's a professor. We brought him over to talk about first ladies and presidents, and that was tremendously received. And he's got a whole series of lectures that he plans to do, so we're very much in touch with him to do that going forward. We're not sure if we're going to do that virtual. We would like to try to branch out a little bit into live if we can, or maybe a combination of both. So we're in discussions with him to make that happen and bring him on board as soon as we can. And we also started a Milton series of Jewish learning, and that's been well received here as well. So there are a lot of different ideas and dynamics and events that CNE brings to Williams Island, not just entertainment, but more than that. And we're welcome for anyone to send us ideas on the island. I always mention this at every event. Please get in touch with us. We're welcome and open to anything. This is our island, our community, and we have a great venue and great opportunity to do really good things here and to include everybody. Whatever you want to hear, see, or do, send it over to us. Present it to CNE as a committee. We meet regularly, as I told you, every couple of weeks. We will listen to your ideas or email them to us, and we'll put it into play. If it's something that sounds great and there's a demand for it on the island, we want to do it. And especially now, because we are in these crazy times that we're in right now, and we are just adapting to our new world and new reality. We need new, fresh ideas to see how we can move forward. And that brings us to what we are now in discussions of doing in our CNE committee meetings lately. We've been discussing when is the right time to start to do something fun and exciting on the island. I think we all feel the same way. It's been 7 long months. It's been very stressful and upsetting, and as much as we're in our beautiful, beautiful paradise here, and we're luckier than most to be able to have the amenities that we have here on the island, we feel that entertainment is missing, and we would love to see some form of entertainment, whether it's music, comedy, something, in a safe, socially distant manner. If we can put that together and start trial and error, branching out a little bit and just testing the waters. So what we've discussed doing is having a welcome back week, if you will, comedy fest. We thought the best thing and first thing we should do is to start with comedy. Everyone likes to laugh, and everyone needs to laugh, especially right now. So we have contracted with Sarge to do 3 nights of Comedy Fest, and we're going to start there and see how that's received and build on that. And the idea is, and this will be November 30th, December 1st, and December 2nd, based on demand and need. We're going to have a limited amount of people that can attend, so you're going to have to register early. It's a complimentary event. It's a feel-good event for the island, and it will be on the tennis court, on Stolly Court, socially distanced, large tables, the very, very large round tables, only 4 to a table, so it will be spaced out. Masks required, of course, and actually what we are talking about doing, speaking of creativity, we're designing special masks to wear and to give out as your entry ticket to the event. So
Great idea.
those are the kinds of things that we
Yeah.
do and think about to add to, the design, the decorations, and that type of thing, just to enhance the event.
Well, one of the reasons, what we're doing, and one of the reasons Cindy and the committee decided to do a comedy, but the same kind of act for 3 nights, is because we can only have approximately 125 people per night on the courts to be socially distanced. So we figured if we have different acts each night, people would say, well, I want to go to the first, the third, the second. This way, it's the same act, and we can get close to 400 people.
Right.
As she said, this is totally complimentary. There will be some sort of beverage, but again, with social distancing mandated.
Right.
But I think this is a great idea, because this is something the island does need desperately, as we all do.
Right.
And are there any plans, if possible, for the future?
So that's the first step. If that works well, then we can add more comedy the next week, the following week. We can do it at a moment's notice. Sarge is local, and there are a lot of comedians that are out there that are local, that aren't going anywhere, and really want to work. So they are available. Our agents tell us we will have no problem adding on. So we're going to see how that goes. We're also going to stream that show for a delayed showing, so that people that still aren't comfortable venturing out socially distanced on the tennis court, or aren't able to come, or are ill, or have any issues like that, can see Sarge perform at a later date on Williams Island TV. In addition to that, I know that we're going to have the deli, Starbucks coffee shop opening shortly. So we're thinking about doing some type of a grand opening with that on the tennis patio. That's in the works, negotiation-wise. We are doing the foreign films. As you know, we just had a foreign film this past week, and I spoke to Nancy Kettles, who's handling that as part of, it's under the CNE umbrella, but Nancy is very good at that, and she enjoys doing the foreign films, so she would like to continue with that, which is fine with us. And she mentioned that there were about 40 people that participated in the foreign films this past week. So it was a good success, a good start, and they hope to build on that with Shelley Isaacs. They have a plan going forward, and so that is something we're going to continue. And from there, we're talking about some music also. I think the next thing we'd like to do after comedy, some type of a musical thing, whether it's a musician that performs with tracks rather than a whole band, because it's very difficult to get a band here, and then you have to worry about more people in the dressing rooms and all of that. We're talking about doing it something with tracks performing. So we've looked at some tributes. There was a Donna Summers person that we saw that was very good. There was another Stevie Wonder. There were a few that we're exploring to do that. So it looks like if we start this the end of November, the season could start to pick up and look very, very good, optimistic, and make some people happy on this island, bring a little hope and happiness that maybe finally things are getting better and looking better, and this awful year is coming to a close, and we're going to start afresh. So that's the goal. That's the hope of the CNE committee. We're working hard to do that. We're enjoying it, and we hope that you're all going to enjoy what we're bringing to the island. And again, please send me any comments and events. We would love to see them and take them under advisement.
That's wonderful. And some of the other things that we're talking about would be, because of the fact it's hard to put people together, it's all going to be done for the moment, lecture series on tape. We're having Zoom meetings or whatever. But one of the things we're looking into is our COO, Steve Metlager, is a wine connoisseur and quite knowledgeable. So I've asked Steve to get together with Cindy and all the others and start to talk about a wine lecture series. And maybe do a wine tasting. People could come to the CNE, or they come to the dining room, pick up their wine bottles, go back home with it, and then they follow the wine tasting procedures. And it's quite interesting because Steve has done this quite often. And then we have some people who do cooking. And together they do wine pairings with certain types of meals, certain types of wine and combinations. So it's more of it's almost adapting to the real new world for the moment.
We've done a little bit of that in the past.
Yeah.
There've been a couple little events, but nothing on a regular basis. I would
Yeah.
love to see that on
Yeah,
a regular
well, he's going to
basis.
reach out to you because it just
Great.
happened, but
Yep.
we want to bring to the home because it's more comfortable for
Right.
most of the people right now. They're really
Sure.
still not totally comfortable going out,
Right.
understandably so. But I can't thank you in the committee enough. And, you know, we talk about divas. I'm sure you have your divas sometimes at your meetings. And we won't mention names,
Nope.
but together what you accomplish is absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
And the island thanks you, the board of directors thanks you.
Thank you so
And
much.
we just really very much look forward to it.
appreciate
And I have to tell you, Cindy works probably harder at this than in her profession.
I multitask well, so I fit it in,
You
and
do.
it's all good,
Yeah.
and I appreciate the support. So
Well.
the board has been very supportive, and management has been incredibly supportive, and Stephanie in the corner back there has been really supportive, redoing flyers over and over again, and all that she does in marketing. So we have a great team in place. We're very appreciative, and we're very lucky we live here in this island. People out there are really hurting, and people don't have what we have here, and we have all of these amenities and this community feeling, and it's just wonderful. So I hope that, things are going to get so much better as we move forward now. I feel like they're changing a little bit and
They
getting
are.
better. So it's all good. But thank you again for the support. I
Oh,
appreciate it.
And we
glad to
thank you
help.
very much, and the board thanks you. And we'll make sure you have a nice budget next year to do
Yes,
all these
thank
things
you.
again.
Okay, we have witnesses here. I appreciate
We
that.
do,
Yes,
we do,
Let's
and
keep
we
moving
make
that
sure we
budget in the right
support you.
direction.
What you do is you bring
Thank
life
you.
to the island, and
Oh,
that's important.
Oh, that's so nice. Thank you so
And
much.
again, thank you all for listening. Cindy, keep up the good work.
Thank you
And
again.
we all appreciate you. Thank you so much.